Making It Big by Femi Otedola. So this week I picked up this book, and as you know, probably by now, I love to read. Reading is one of the things that really motivates me and keeps me in the best of moods and best mental state. So I picked up this book by the Nigerian billionaire Femi Otedola called Making It Big. And I'm about 3 chapters in so far. A few things I wanted to share about the book. So first of all, I haven't read any book that has like an intro and a bit of a review by people or endorsement by people that is as hyped as this book. So as soon as you start reading the book and then you open up, you have what they call advanced praise. And you have people like Dangote writing about Femi and what this book is about. Now, believe me, when you start reading this, you get like really excited and really pushed to get into the information of this book. So that was like the first impression. The book was like, wow, there's a lot to learn. This guy is a leader. He's a businessman that you want to learn from. Now, I also have a bit of a bias reading Femi's book over a couple of things. First is family. So Femi started off working with his father, which I also started doing when I was coming up, which I still do. I still work with my dad or work for my family business, aside the other things that I own or run. But Femi started working with his father in a printing press. So that's one of the things that I can relate with. Secondly, Femi has daughters. I also have 4 daughters. So the book generally was just so relatable to me. Then talking about his adventure into business and entrepreneurship at a very young age, providing like nail cutting services to his father's business colleagues or friends who would come into their house. So Femi showed a lot of promise starting up very early, and then got into the business of providing fuel or supplying fuel to households and to businesses. Now, I talk about the bias because I already talked about working for family, to having girls as our kids. Then the next thing is Femi getting into the oil and gas business, and with the supply business, and then getting into transportation. Now, I also own a business called Rambo Transport, and what we do is to supply fuel to oil marketing companies. So I find this book very relatable, and the amazing thing about this book, which is very different from other books, is that this is the true life story of a Nigerian billionaire who is really showing all of us that it is possible. Now, I always say this thing about some people that people just refer to as wealthy or rich, and I say, what's their story? If you can't tell me the story, or you can't show me how you made it, how did you make it? Now, it's important that we read some of these things in these books because it shows that it is possible. Femi started the Zenon petroleum and oil and gas business by buying fuel and putting in barrels, keeping them in vans, and going from house to house, from business to business, delivering fuel. Now, this is, just shows that you to start a business, you don't need to start big. All you need to do is to get started and to work with what you have in your hands. I've already shared videos about a message the Lord told me to share with people about starting with what you have in your hands. And so this book, 3 chapters in, for me already has been very inspiring. I intend to read this within 2 weeks because I'm also I'm taking a bit of time to kind of like savor the information in there. So averagely I'm reading about a chapter a day, but over the weekend I'm really going to dive in. But I didn't want to wait for too long before sharing this. I just thought that, look, this book is one of those books that if you're a business person or you're planning to get into business, just get started. Because a lot of us have too many excuses. One of the main excuses that I know a lot of people will come up with is, oh, Femi came from a wealthy family, and so you can't compare yourself to Femi. True, Femi came from an okay family, but Femi built something, and he's been so gracious and generous enough to share his story, which will also show you that this is possible. This is possible. So for me, I just wanted to just also find out from you what you're reading. This is like what I'm really enjoying right now, amongst other books, but I try to read a chapter a day from this book, and I'm loving it so far. And just wanted to share the fact that, look, it's good to tell good stories. It's good to share how we've been able to build businesses or build structure around institutions, because without storytelling, there's a lack of inspiration. And Americans do this a lot, and they do it very well. And so I'm very happy and motivated to see Nigerians, Ghanaians, and Africans start to tell their stories. So kudos to Femi. I really look forward to meeting Mr. Otedola one day, because I can so connect and relate to his story. And I find this very inspiring. I'm looking forward to reading the entire book, and probably I'll do another video when I'm done with it. But today, this is all I want to share on my immediate reaction or impression of the book that I've been spending like the last maybe 3 to 4 days on. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you're reading. And if you have read this book, let me know in the comments what you think about it and what has been like the most impactful thing you've gathered from this book. Thank you for watching.